You know, Larry was talking about the free pass, and that's one thing. There's two things that have changed racing a lot. The free pass, which puts one car back on the lead lap, and the wave around rule. We haven't seen it today, but we may experience that before the day's over. That's how you keep so many cars in contention.
Kurt Busch with a full head of steam from Regan Smith. And then on the inside, Burton and Boyer, Menard and Keselowski, and Dale Jr. up top with Casey Kane in the 4.
Now, Dale Jr. didn't. I was listening to him. He said, I'm not really happy about being shoved around all the time. I think I want to ease off a little bit. So we'll see what happens here.
We listened in on Jamie McMurray and Montoya talking with each other.
Dude, I tried so hard to back up. They kept getting on my outside, and I kept trying to get squared up to your bumper, and I couldn't because there wasn't enough room there. It's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard to get locked up in that draft. It's so critical to be out front, you know? Yeah, but you got to be safe. We have to be safe because once we do, we're there, you know? Yeah, I'm with you. Their cars are really quick.
Patience has put them 2/3 of the way back in the pack, biding their time.
Yeah, what he's saying is you know, we don't want to wreck each other trying to lock up in a 2-car draft because we've got fast cars. Let's be safe and careful here because we got cars that can win this race.
They are back in 18th and 19th.
And Mike, you heard Jamie McMurray say it's really hard, Juan. It's really hard to get locked in, particularly when you're in traffic. Once you get out front, piece of cake, you just mat it, push, hang on.
At least one crew chief has exclaimed in frustration, I've had enough of this flipping radios to try to talk to any and everybody.
Now, Tony Stewart in that 14, he's found him a little new dance partner, the 20-car Joey Logano. Tony Stewart drove that 20 car for 10 years for Joe Gibbs Racing and actually won 2 championships. The last guy to win a championship not named Jimmy.
We got us a gauge here. It's hooked to the steering column. And so let's watch Joey Logano as he goes down in the corner. Not a whole lot of steering input. You can see there 17, 18 degrees, not turning that wheel much at all. Little blip every now and then, but we come right back on the straightaway. We go back to straight ahead, dead center down the straightaway. You can actually have to hold the car up in the track just a teeny bit as it goes down the straightaway because you got a little lead in the car to get into the corner. See here about the same input on this end of the racetrack, 16, 17 degrees, but look how steady that is. Down here in the past, that thing will be jumping all over the place from going through the undulation and bumps in the racetrack. Now, smooth as silk.
Logano runs in 7th with Tony Stewart. It's Kurt Busch, Regan Smith, Busch's wingman when he won the Thursday Gatorade Duel to earn a second-row starting spot in the 500. Our steering wheel position sensor is something new for NASCAR on Fox with something else new. Jeff Hammond.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. This year Fox has broke out the heat seeker cam, and we have an opportunity from time to time to try to take a look at something a little more unique. And this time we're coming and taking a look at Bill Elliott's car when he comes in, the 09 car. Look at the right rear. Look how hot that right rear tire is as it comes off. You'll notice when they bring that tire around, you pass the left rear, how cool it is. We're talking about 190, 195 degrees right there on the right rear and about 145 degrees on the left rear. Gives you a pretty good idea of how much wear and tear the right side tires are taking compared to the left.
Plus, don't forget, Jeff, and I know you know this, the tailpipes both run out right in front of that rear tire, so they're even throwing a little more heat on that right rear tire.
But hats off to Goodyear. The tire that they have developed for January testing and for Speed Weeks is one that nobody's had anything to talk about all through Speed Weeks.
And most of the development was done even before this racetrack was finished with the repave.
Jeff Burton, Clint Boyer, your leaders in the Daytona 500 on Fox.
The Daytona 500 on Fox is sponsored by Sprint, proud sponsor of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series.
Regan Smith, the best pusher in Daytona this week, is the new leader in his Furniture Row Chevy. He is the 14th different driver to lead the 500 They're ahead of Kurt Busch, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Casey Kane in close formation, and then a pretty good gap back to Clint Bowyer and Jeff Burton.
I think Regan need a little air.
Steve?
Mike, Regan Smith's race team, one of the few not located in North Carolina. In fact, they're all the way out in Colorado. This team has a technical alliance with Richard Childress Racing, and the pit crew are all employees of Tony Stewart's at Stewart-Haas Racing. They train at Stewart-Haas Racing, but here at the track, they work for the 78 car. By the way, Regan formed an alliance of his own over the holidays. He got engaged, Larry Mack. Tell everybody how he did it.
Yes, he did. Even at 27 years old, as he's battling for the lead with Dale Earnhardt Jr., he still went to Megan Mayhew's dad and asked for her hand in marriage.
Smith leads this lap, and based on your votes, the Pizza Hut fan favorite today is, big surprise, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Let's see how he's doing. Running in third. Well, make that fourth, make that fifth. Don't worry, he'll come right back.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good pusher right now. Whoa, a little swapping going on there.
And further back at 17th place, David Reagan and Trevor Bayne. During the last caution, we heard from the 20-year-old rookie about the strategy he wanted to employ in the next green flag run.
I just don't know if who I want pushing me here. I'd rather push somebody so I know I can be careful.
I think the 99-43 are going to try to work together, so see what happens with the 6. I'll let you know we'd rather push here.
And Larry, we're looking at a piece of tape, or maybe even a piece of rubber over on the right front corner of the 21 car. You see it right over there. Watch that piece of rubber. It's hung on the hood pin. We're running 190 miles and 195 miles an hour. Watch this thing. It's all of a sudden it's going forward, and he's running 195 miles an hour. But I think that explains why the guy behind is such a good pusher. You lose all the air off the nose of the car behind, and you start pushing that car in front of you. You push that air forward, and the cars go faster.
Yeah, the pressure definitely changes on that nose depending on what configuration you're behind another car.
Regan Smith had a check up in turn 3, and the Childress Express came through on track 2. Bowyer and Burton together again and back into the lead. 26th lead change of the day. The record, 60, was set way back in 1974.
Well, remember, they have to exchange every now and then. The guy running in second, the pusher, he's got to get some air into his radiator after several laps or he'll melt the engine down. So these passes and changes of the position are pretty orchestrated. That's why you need to talk to the guy you're running with.
You know, Clint Bowyer has finished 4th in the last 2 Daytona 500s, and Mike and Darrell, I can't help but think in 2003 he caught the eye of Richard Childress at an ARCA race in Nashville. He's from Kansas. He was working on his dirt car. He got a phone call from Richard Childress. He almost didn't take the call because he thought one of his friends was playing a trick on him.
From body shop worker to the leader of the Daytona 500, Kansas, Clint Bowyer. Out in front. 7th caution of the day. This one for Travis Kvapil. Pit road's open. Steve.
Fuel only for Clint Bowyer last time, Mike. Right sides this time. Matt?
Right side tires as well, Steve, for the 31 of Jeff Burton. They're going to top him off with Sunoco, Krista.
Matt, the call is also 2 tires for Dale Earnhardt Jr. He is fired up on the radio. Dick?
And Keselowski is taking 4 tires. He's been fast all day. Has run up front the entire race.
Dale Jr., Clint Bowyer lead the race off pit road, although Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin did not make pit stops under this caution. Here's what happened. Travis Kvapil, who turned Richardson around for the last caution, gets up out of the groove, knocks the long john and the silver off the right side of his car.
Had all the look that a right front tire was going down on that car.
Good point. Time for an AT&T race break. Down to Chris.
Thanks, Mike. Dale Earnhardt Jr. hanging in there. Remember, from the back of the pack near the front. And when he was asked earlier where do you want to be at the end of the race, he said, I'll be second, and then, of course, cross the finish line first. Long way to go, but Jr. hanging in there as Jeff Burton is currently your leader. 150,000 fans gathering for the won the running of the Daytona 500, and on lap 3 went silent as fans remembered Dale Earnhardt. Now the first caution, Kyle Busch hit by Michael Waltrip, spun out. He's been